Hello, friends and fans. Welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. We are here because Until Dawn have just released a gameplay trailer. So, Jack, firstly, after seeing this, are you feeling more excited for this game?
Well, I'm going to refer to my answer in the poll, because obviously we did put that poll out. I voted somewhere in the middle, so I'm guessing it's a bit of a mixed bag, mate. Reasons being, I think, there's the intrigue of what the bonus scenes could be. You know, a lot of people talked about this, but we've seen the thing with Hannah and Beth pulling Josh onto the settee, which wasn't in the first game, so potentially there's going to be a bit more to mine in the prologue. You know, there is that element, and then of course with like the graphics as well. I don't know, like the graphics. I've got to admit, on my first watch, I was a bit like, ooh, I'm not a fan of it. I think I've watched it a couple of times since, and I've not been as harsh on it, but I definitely think that it's going to be a talking point in this video, mate. But how about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I also voted somewhere in the middle, so for the impression that I was left with. And so we're recording this video only 11 hours after we've put the poll out. It's at the moment 90 votes. Thank you for everyone who did vote and comment. So far, it's 57% positive, 39% somewhere in the middle, and 4% negative. Now, I am in somewhere in the middle camp. I share the sentiment from one commenter, Javen Scruggs, who said, Until Dawn still feel like it didn't need a remake. I think, we are in that territory where sometimes I think we're remaking games instead of making new ones, and I'm like, did it really need one? It's only 2015 it was made, and the graphics still hold up great. So for me to be satisfied with this product, I want something new. It needs to be monumentally better than Until Dawn, which is going to be a really tough gig because it's such a great game. And what I'll do is I will go back to what you said. And it is probably the biggest talking point. It looks like we are getting additional scenes. The most notable one, Hannah and Beth carrying Josh to the sofa, mate. Are we getting a new prologue?
Don't know. I can't imagine them straying massively away from what it was, but maybe we'll get some more time in the lodge at the beginning, because a lot of Until Dawn, it plays out as apart from the bit where you're walking around and you sort of shake Josh and that, a lot of it is very cutscene heavy, isn't it, with like the prank and stuff, and then next thing you know, you're outside and you're chasing after Hannah. Maybe there's a little bit more time in the lodge. What I do hope they've not thrown that in there just as like an extra bonus random thing that takes up 10 seconds and then the rest of it's completely the same as the prologue. I do hope that there is some more like substance to that particular moment. But that goes for the whole game as well. I hope they're not just paying it lip service and then just adding tiny little things in there. I'd like to see some like full scenes.
Yeah, or just to put in the trailer as a marketing tool. That would suck.
Yeah,
really
exactly,
fraudulent on them. Yeah, I think the game could really benefit from a different prologue, though. Maybe like not different, but like at least added, because I feel like we all know that we're going to lose Hannah and Beth, and I feel like we barely know the characters, and Hannah just gets pranked on and then runs out the door, and I feel like it would be epic to spend a lot more time with Beth and Hannah. That way we do feel more aggrieved that they will basically pass away, and then it will make us more sympathy for Josh potentially. So I definitely think the game could benefit from added scenes in the prologue, but yeah, it would need substance. It can't just be there for the sake of being there as a marketing tool, or like you say, filler. Next point, lad, and this is one that has got a lot of people talking. It looks like he's steering away from the blue tint, mate. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, when I first looked at it, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not too sure about this." Reason being, and obviously, like, it doesn't look bad per se. I won't go that far. But it's difficult to pick. You know how, like, in The Quarry, you had the build up to the night time, right? The sun was out. You had that sort of sunset lighting in there. For that game, it worked. They were going for the summer camp vibe. With Until Dawn, because we've seen the blue tint, and because we've seen that it starts off, it's very, it's nighttime, it's cold. To now see this, it's difficult because you've seen the original. To now see this one, it does stick out quite a lot. But I've got to go with my early impression. I feel like with Until Dawn, they are going for a slasher. Of course, there's camp elements, but I feel like they are like really leaning into the horror with this one more. So I do hope that this whole lighting shenanigan business doesn't become too much of a problem in the final product, mate, because I do like the darkness of it. I like the fact there's not a lot of light and you've got to, your imagination can run away with things in it.
It's a good point. I want to refer you to a section of a comment that font made. Thank you for putting this one in. They said the lighting looks like a huge improvement even on the first trailer we saw. I actually like that they got rid of the blue filter. I think it adds a much needed polish to the atmosphere. Now what I want to say to that is that I disagree with the polish comment, but I do agree that maybe it's a good thing they've got rid of it, so it's at least got its own identity, from the original game. But I don't know, one thing I kind of want to comment on as well is that for those that have seen like the Matrix trilogy, will know that the film's iconic for having the green filter, right? Like that green filter was just so iconic when you watch those movies. Matrix 4 came out like years, maybe decade later, and it didn't need to be. The film was awful, and another thing that made the film bad is they removed the green filter, and it felt more grounded, but it didn't feel like the Matrix, and it was just really meh. And I look at this trailer and I don't know, it just feels foreign, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to warm up to it. I've got mixed feelings about like the sun element, like you said. I get they're going for, let's put the sun in at the start of the game so you really get the night drawing in, and you really get that whole feel of, these guys have to survive until dawn, and it goes hand in hand with the title. The sunset shot is beautiful, but I really like the original one with Sam with the blue tint, because with that one, I'm going to put them side by side on screen for you now, but you see the snow on the mountains, and the mountains look a lot more detailed. In this newer one, you have the sun, and as a result, the mountains just become silhouettes, and they're less detailed. And I agree with having the sun in there for the theme they're probably going to try and go for, but I think that shot subsequently looks worse, mate.
Also, as well as like what they're trying to achieve, like when you sort of see a sunset like that, you're thinking, that's gorgeous, that's picturesque. Whereas when you look at the other one, because it's dark and because you can't quite make everything out, it can look quite ominous, which I think sets the tone well for a horror game. And this is why I lean back to like The Quarry. Like, I think the juxtaposition sometimes of The Quarry with like the lighter tones and perhaps the daytime scenes is perhaps one of the reasons why people leaned against it so much, even if on a subconscious level. Whereas Until Dawn, you knew what you was getting from the get-go. Like the whole game, it was nighttime. Even when Sam turned up, it's a little bit on edge. Someone's in the bushes looking at her, and just the whole thing is like a slow build of dread. Maybe with this one, it's not quite going to land like that.
No, I completely get you. So yeah, no, it's definitely something to look out for. But yeah, I'm just I've got my hesitations about this. One thing I want to draw attention to now, and it's another big point a lot of people in the comments are talking about, lad, is the updated character models. Now, I'm not sure you share my sentiment. I think a lot of them actually look really good, but I think we can all agree that one character has been done dirty here, mate.
Yeah, like she's been dragged through the hedges by Wendigo, funnily enough.
Yeah, I mean, and this is
right?
We are, and this is the shot is her clearly with Matt, and it's obviously at the start of the game, while her bags are being carried. So this is early. It's like she's not been dragged through. She doesn't even know what a Wendigo is as of yet. But I don't know what's going on with her. People have commented about how her hair looks flat. She looks like, when you're like at a train station at like 1 a.m. and someone's asking you for change, and I'm just like, Emily, what have they done to you, my girl, man? So yeah, I don't know what's happened here, but have to see. And it's not even just that shot. I don't know if you've seen the shot where they're looking down sort of like the sewer kind of like hole, and you've got Ashley and Sam looking down Chris, and they look great, but Emily just looks less polished and like less rendered, and the textures look off. And she looks like PS3 graphics at one point, and I don't know what's happened there, but yeah, it's not good, mate.
Which is so ironic, given the character of Emily, you know, like who's so obsessed with her image, like the jacket, you know, and like just the way she holds herself, and that's the one character that's been done dirty by the graphics. So I can see that it is funny, but I imagine there's enough time for them to go back and address this, because surely they're going to hear like comments like that and quickly go and do whatever they do to go and fix these little things.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just the odd shot, because like I don't think she looks half bad when she's running through the mines with the flare. So like it might just be some inconsistencies there. But you look at like the other character models, and like I do actually think some of them look great. Like I've seen a lot of comments about how good Chris looks, like his haircut and stuff. Matt looks a little bit hencher, which might lean into that whole athletic side he's got going on. His hair looks poofier as well, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, some of the character models look really good. I think my favourite one in particular has to be Jess. Like, Jess just looks really polished. I don't know what it is about it. But yeah, no, they've actually done a really good job on a lot of the other ones, mate.
Which makes that, well, it then asks the question, if like Jess is like so polished, it's a shame, because if they stick to the original format, she's not in the game that much. So it would be great if there was bonus scenes, that there was some more Jess scenes, so we can get to see more of the character model in action, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen a lot of people calling out for more Jess and Matt scenes. A lot of the comments have mentioned stuff like that. It looks like we're getting a prolonged kind of like dirty scene with Mike and Jess, so we'll have to see what comes of that. And it's interesting as well, because back to the sunlight point, it looks like the kind of chapter 1 and 2 of Until Dawn, you will have the sun on it, and the snowball fight looks like really bright, which is like, yeah, like interesting to see. But yeah, like it's just one of those ones where we don't know how much we're going to get added, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it is something that is worth, you know, having, because like PC players like myself are finally able to get our hands on this game. We had one comment from Elijah Ray saying, "I just hope you play it, bro." I can assure you we will on this channel. We're going to be playing it live, so yeah, be sure to join in on that one. Before we sign off, Jack, the last thing to mention is that we kind of have a more narrowed down release date.
Yeah, very surprising as well, because I really did think they were going to lean into the whole anniversary thing. But no, it's going to be fall of this year, which raises so many questions, especially because we think in 2 days' time we're expected to hear the release date of the casting of Frank Stone as well. So that previous video that we did, where I was talking about, you know, potentially these two games, one former Supermassive game and the most recent Supermassive game, are going to go head to head against one another, especially if they're both going for that Halloween drop.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the thing is, Halloween does fall on a Thursday, so I don't know, like Thursday seems like quite an odd day to release a video game on, so it could be that they do it the day afterwards, November the 1st, which just so happens to be my birthday. So it could be, mate, that I am locking in a little prediction that I am going to get Until Dawn on my birthday.
Wow, it would be fitting, wouldn't it? I mean, the thing is, even if these two games come out within like a week apart, that's still pretty bad for both of them, because there are going to be people that are split. Even which, you know, even on this channel, there are people that are going to be like, no, I'll get Until Dawn first before the casting of Frank Stone, and, you know, vice versa. So definitely one to keep an eye out on. And, you know, I imagine at the Summer Games Fest, we'll find out more about Frank Stone. So then we can put this whole issue, you know, to bed, as they say.
For sure. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you think about your theories, and please drop some of your theories and thoughts below in the comments. So watch this space, because we're going to be releasing a lot more videos about Until Dawn. Any shred of news, we'll be there to cover it. So guys, please drop a like and subscribe. It really does help our channel. Until then, stick around and we'll see you in the next one.
Catch you later.